What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's coffee talk time, y'all. It's 10:32, y'all. 10:32. I was on time today. How about that? I was on time today. I'm gonna work very hard on trying to be on time moving forward. Y'all, like I said, it's coffee talk over here. We talk about Black excellence, Black history, a little bit of current events, and a little bit of celebrity gossip. So, y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get on into this thing this morning. I firmly believe in not answering the phone or texting back. If I don't have the mental capacity or energy to talk, I don't care who it is. Do y'all believe in that? I believe in that. I feel like there was a time maybe where I felt like, I don't know, a little tinge of guilt that I didn't have the capacity to engage in conversation. You know what I'm saying? Um, or even a text back because we live in an age where texting is a probably a bigger part of our communication than actually being on the phone, talking to someone. Don't ring my doorbell either. That's not here. Don't ring my doorbell, please. Do not bring your ass over here if we didn't have a conversation about it. There's nothing more irritating than being at home and have somebody decide it's okay to pop in on you. Like, I'm not doing anything nefarious over here, but if I'm just chilling, relaxing in my own state of mind and my own peace and energy, I did not ask you to come over here, so do not do it. We have Jehovah's Witness in the neighborhood. I'm sure everybody does. And sometimes I feel like I'm gonna open the door on their ass and go ahead and have the conversation that they didn't plan on having. So, yeah, I feel like don't take it personal. It doesn't mean anything if I'm not answering my phone. I'm usually not answering my phone. I'm going to tell you that. I'm usually not answering my phone. Pretty much T is the only person who always gets, the phone picked up. If I don't pick up for T, it's because I know she was calling. That's the only person who, outside of people, in my household, obviously my kids, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about other than that. Please don't like take it personally. Just text me, let me know what it is. Can you talk? Those kind of things. I prefer that. Don't just, you can call me, but I'm probably not going to answer. I'm just saying because I feel like not I feel like for me, I just need to be in the right time and space for it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not an emergency, it's probably not going to happen. Um, yeah. So, I feel like we shouldn't feel guilty about that. I'm always going to hit you with a text and say, what's up? I'm probably not, going to just call you because I treat people the way I like to be treated. So, it's not personal. Don't take it personal. It's just, you want the best, you want the best of me. And I think it's okay to protect your peace. This is a big part of protecting your peace. I feel like there's a multi DMs, Facebook, instant messenger, your text messages, your phone. There's so many ways, to get in touch with a person. So, yeah, we don't have to talk about it unless you my people. So only certain people on the list have phone access without permission. Period. Let's go ahead and normalize that. Anyway, what we got on the agenda today? What's on the agenda besides me? Oh, dear Lord. StreamYard pissed me off today. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. Um, yeah, sometimes I pay for a subscription, sometimes I don't, based on what my needs are. But my channel is not monetized, so I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of money over here on certain things, you know, because why? Um, but yeah, they deleted my video from the other day. I was getting ready to chop it up and do some things. I'm not going to worry about it too much. If y'all haven't watched my reality recap, please go ahead over, after we leave here. I covered Huntsville's reunion, Real Housewives of Atlanta and Bell Collective. I'm just going to start doing them all on one day, Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. That's where it's been confirmed at. Um, yeah, instead of like spreading my week out. I've spent way too much time, you know what I'm saying, to talk about these folks. So we're going to do it all in one day. In the meantime, good morning, High Vibe. We just getting started. I was just letting the people know, like, if you want to talk about reality shows, it's gonna be Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I'm not, when you have to watch videos and some y'all spend a lot of time over here too. I feel like it's easier for you guys than trying to figure out where I'm gonna be and what time I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna come join the party Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. We can talk about all these shows we've been watching. You know what I'm saying? All in one day. And it definitely works out better for me. But I'll be here every morning for coffee talk. So, and that's a whole different thing altogether. This is more like a podcast over here. You know what I'm saying? This is more like a podcast where we, talk about the things that we talk about over here. We're going to start with this young man. New Orleans man is making history after being functionally cured of sickle cell disease through gene therapy. 23-year-old Daniel Cressy underwent the treatment over a 2-year period, and the disease is no longer active in his system. He's the first person in Louisiana to reach this milestone. Cressy shared that the conditions once put his dreams of becoming a pilot at risk, and the journey to treatment was long and difficult. This entire journey was the hardest thing I've been in my life. They wrote that weird. And the reason why, maybe they meant been through. And the reason why I work so hard with our organization, Privileged Pilots, has is because I don't want anybody else to have to experience the loneliness and the uncertainty and the hopelessness that I left a couple of years ago. I don't really feel like we hear about sickle cell so much anymore. I'm glad to know that they're still putting energy into finding a cure for it. Doctors say that therapy works by using a patient's own stem cells, which are edited in a lab so they no longer produce the defective cells that cause the disease. I wonder if they're gonna like push towards, and I know they do the whole umbilical cord, but clearly, like, I feel like future medicine would require us maybe to have our own placenta, and without looking for outsiders to donate. Maybe there should be another procedure put in place for people when they are born. um yeah, I think that's a beautiful story. We don't hear too much about that. Like I said, we hear about it, but I feel like it's one of those things that you don't focus on so much unless it affects you directly. If you don't have a family member that has dealt with this. I have my brother and my mother both suffered from diabetes. And when I tell you, my brother far worse because he had it, as a juvenile. So spent his whole life pretty much dealing with insulin shots and that kind of thing. And then my mother got, was more affected by it in her later years. So, and I feel like if she hadn't taken good care of herself through her life, it could have been way worse. When I used to take my mother to her doctor's appointments, like when you're talking about diabetes, I would see more younger, overweight people than elderly people in there. So like I said, her real uh, fight with diabetes came. She was in her 80s, so it just goes along with you're old and your body just don't have the same fight in it. But I would go to doctor's appointments with her, and there would always be, I would say, people within their 30s and 50s with extremely overweight. You could see like get around on scooters and things, the discoloration in the lower leg, because that's how diabetes works in terms of circulation. I've changed the subject altogether. But I mean, my point is, when you don't have somebody in your family that directly deals with sickle cell, and we just learned yesterday about Mooney Long and her fight with lupus. When you don't have somebody directly, close to you, I don't think you put any energy. I mean, not energy, but you don't think about, the fight that life is for someone that suffers from sickle cell. Like he wanted to be a pilot. That's not like a athlete, or you know what I'm saying? And his disability got in the way. So I mean, leaps and bounds in medicine. And this is why we need Black doctors, because I don't feel like others will be putting a whole lot of energy into things that affect us. But yeah, congratulations to this young man. Sheila's back. Sheila's flagship DC hotel reportedly exploring Marriott partnership just 4 years after Salamander relaunched. Sheila over here still doing this. Lady been doing things like, day one. While we all been trying to figure it out, she over here, doing the damn thing. Anyway, Sheila Johnson's Salamander, Washington, D.C. is in talks to a rebrand as a Marriott property, according to a report by Washington Business Journal. Johnson and London-based private equity firm Henderson Park acquired the 373-room luxury hotel, formerly the Mandarin Oriental. Ooh, not the Mandarin Oriental. Is that offensive now? Like, I don't know. Maybe as long as you're not referring to people anyway. In September 2022 for $139 million, relaunching it under the Salamander Collection name. A Marriott affiliation would give the Southwest waterfront property access to one of the world's largest hotel distribution and loyalty systems, though which their tier within Marriott brand portfolio it might carry has not been disclosed. That sounded weird. I'm going to say that again. A Marriott affiliation would give Southwest waterfront property access to one of the world's largest hotel distribution and loyalty systems, through which her tier, that's where it's wrong. It doesn't say through. It says though which tier within Marriott's brand portfolio it might carry has not been disclosed. Okay, I understand now. Bear with me. Neither Salamander nor Marriott International committed by publication time. They still talking about the money, sounds like. Since takeover, Johnson has invested significantly in property. A two-level Salamander spa opened in December 2024. The celebrity chef, I'm struggling this morning. The celebrity chef Onwuachi Kwame. Oh, we know Kwame. Kwame Onwuachi, I think that's how you say his name, launched Dogan. This is a lot, y'all. Oh, an Afro-Caribbean restaurant that was named one of Washington's top 2 best restaurants by Washington Magazine in 2025. Kwame has been doing big things behind the scenes. I mean, I remember him from Top Chef, but he's one of the chefs from that show. I can't remember if he won. I know he went all the way to the end, but he's definitely done his thing in the restaurant industry. That's not an easy thing to do. I think people have fantasies of being a chef, but don't realize, what it's really like. And I remember Kwame was one of the chefs that did actually travel to these places, you know what I'm saying? Not just graduate from the Cordon Bleu and want to be a chef. He went to learn the culture of these foods before he ever got, to Top Chef. So shout out to Kwame. What a great partnership. It says the hotel holds a Forbes 4-star and a AAA 4-diamond designation. Sheila Johnson founded Salamander Hotel and Resorts in 2005 and previously co-founded Black Entertainment Television, which sold to Viacom nearly $3 billion. Yeah, we know Sheila is a monster. I would love to hear more about her. I love this idea. She in talks with Marriott. She gonna get her money. Good morning to go to Africa. Good morning, Jatoni. Yeah, she gonna get her money. When you do negotiations with people like BET and such. I want to go to the Salamander too. If she partners with Marriott, though, it's an opportunity probably for more of us to be exposed to her brand. You know what I'm saying? She can place them throughout the country, and then when people of color travel, we have somewhere to stay that's accepting of us. Yeah, revolution. I love it. Love it. Even the partnership with Kwame is, nice to hear. So we go see what upscale, is all about in Marriott. Spread it around, distribution and things that she had will gain access to in the hotel industry. Good morning, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Um, yeah, Sheila is the king. Beyonce is no longer the king. Let's put a real king in place. Oh, what do we have next? Oh, this is kind of like news where you like good, but I don't know. I don't know. Put in the hands of a grand Cheeto, we don't know. But Congress has passed a major housing bill that would limit how many single family homes large institutional investors can buy. Thank God. Sending the measure to President Donald Trump for approval. That's the only part. Like billionaires are doing something. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the legislation called the 21st Century Road to Housing Act passed with broad bipartisan support. The Senate approved the bill 85-80 and the House later passed it 358 to 32. That's, obviously the majority. According to reports, the bill now heads to Trump's desk before it can officially become a law. Ugh, maybe he'll have one of his ditzy days, you know what I'm saying, and do the right thing. One of the most talked about parts of the bill targets large institutional investors, including private equity backed firms and corporate landlords. The legislation reportedly defines institutional investors as entities that own 350 or more homes and place limits on their ability to keep buying existing single homes. Yeah, they're messing it up for everybody. Interest rates high, and they just, gather their money and there's nothing left. They just want everybody renting from them, but they have control over everything. Supporters say the move is meant to give regular home buyers a better chance in market where many families feel priced out. Lawmakers from both parties have argued that large investors buying up homes can reduce supply for families and contribute to rising housing costs. However, the final version of the bill is narrower than earlier proposals. Reports say it includes exceptions, including for newly built build to rent properties. Meant the measure does not amount to full ban on corporate ownership of single family rentals. Yeah, that's a bit meant to confuse. The bill also includes several broader housing provisions aimed at increasing supply, speeding up development, supporting manufactured housing, and improving access to smaller mortgages. House experts say the legislation could help over time, but it's not expected to immediately lower home prices or mortgage rates. I mean, I don't know that people expect them, the mortgage rates is gonna have to go low based on the way they you know, ain't nobody buying no houses. They're gonna have to figure something out. But the fact that corporate is buying up all the houses and then put it in a position where people have no option to buy, or if they do want to buy, it's ridiculous. What's the limit number? I don't know. They said something about well, they said more for companies that have more than 350 homes, but yeah, what's the limit? The minimum seems at 350. That's what I think. High vibe. You said I'd be very shocked if he signs it, and if he does, it'll be a caveat still for wealth. Yeah, they will have a discussion. That's probably why we don't know that number. They will have a discussion based on what the max is so that they're all comfortable with what the max is, and then we'll be left with whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if you move out too far, trust and believe there's probably going to be a data center somewhere, so you'll be drinking nasty water. The conversation is just, it just should be, I don't know, that we need a number and it should be fair, but that's not, we don't expect fairness out of them. We expect them to be bamboozling us like they've been doing. Um, mhm. So this is a good thing. I think this is a good thing. And, we'll get into it. Black owned Atlanta nail salon owners say business increased among boycott, but the customer tipping has dropped. I'm gonna tell you, the tips I'm very grateful for them, and my clients that tip me very well have first priority on things. I'll go out above and beyond for them. You know what I'm saying? But a gratuity is a gratuity. I'm always grateful for it. So let's get into what's going on down here. It's nice to hear that people have been actively seeking out Black-owned businesses. This is a positive. Um, an Atlanta nail salon owner is sparking conversation online after sharing an unexpected trend that she's noticed at her business. In a viral Threads post, the salon owner, Alexis Dionis, revealed that her Black-owned salon has experienced significant growth since the recent boycott movement, claiming sales have doubled over the past 2 weeks. However, she said employee tips have moved into the opposite direction. I don't believe that to be true, but I'll tell you why. Um, your existing clients are going to tip what they're going to tip. So the tipping has not gone in an opposite direction. You've gained a new base of clientele, and the tip is a bonus. So I'll continue. She says, so I own a nail salon, Black owned, in Atlanta, and we've been doing great since the boycott, Alexis wrote. But I have one question. Why don't y'all tip? Who the F is y'all? Who is she talking about? That's what I want to know. Tipping for our salon. I mean, if I get a little old lady to give me a couple dollars, she gave me a couple dollars. I'm not feeling no way about it. If I spend hours, you know what I'm saying, doing a big project, you're gonna pay for it because you're paying for my skills. And whatever you tip is whatever you tip. If you tipping if you give me $3 on a $400 service, then I'm not gonna probably see you again. You know what I'm saying, for a long time or ever. You just was somebody who was getting ready to do a trend. But anyway, she said why don't y'all tip? Tipping for our salon was at 18% before the boycott. Now it's at 7%, but our sales have doubled. That's an amazing, great thing. It's a good thing. After her post gained attention, Alexis clarified she wasn't complaining about her own income. She explained that she no longer accepts new clients and personally receives 100% of her earnings. But many members of her staff work on commission and rely on gratuities. And like I said, they should still be getting it. The salon owner later added that she wasn't planning to raise prices to offset the decline in tipping and stressed that her employees are all paid. Her employees are paid well. They aren't complaining about tips. I was just curious. She wrote that, yeah, they're not complaining because they're still making money. So this is just a salon owner going over her books and seeing that the percentage went from 18% to 7%. She said they aren't complaining about their tips. I was just curious, she wrote. Noting that she was simply trying to understand why tipping had dropped so sharply despite the increase in customers. This is the thing. Like I said, this is just a numbers thing. People get their things done based on a budget. So if they're coming from a situation that if they're coming from a situation that they were paying, we already know that a lot of those salons that they walked away from were cheap prices. That's why they were going, because it was cheap and it's cheap product. Now, they're making an effort to go over here and, do follow through, support Black business, and their budget has not changed. Their budget is still their budget. It's hard out here. People are trying to add, these extra things on. So the fact that your business doubled is beautiful. If you have a clientele in there already that are good tippers, they didn't go nowhere. So you have actually maintained, hopefully, the clients that you already had that were tipping well, and you've also gained another, whole, what you say is double your clientele, another whole area of clientele. So, tips are great, and I live off my paycheck and my tips. Sometimes my paycheck will be, substantially larger than, what it was, just my services. I might have a group of very big tippers, you know what I'm saying, in one group. And, because my tips are on my paycheck. A lot of people pay in a tip in cash. I'm I kind of prefer they go ahead and just pay it and it'll be on my paycheck, because then my check is bigger. And then there's sometimes when you don't have a bunch of big tippers and you have a big paycheck and the tips are smaller than you expected. So I feel like it's it's good news. I hate that she sees it from that perspective. Um, y'all are still talking about the houses as things. Going to the nail salon is a luxury, not a necessity. Tipping is a bonus. I agree, Pac. That's, like I said, I'm in the industry. I'm always appreciative of my tips. You know what I'm saying? When it's good, and when it's low, and it depends. Like if I feel like if I have a client, and I do have, who lives all the way in Orlando, far, and she doesn't have a car, and she gets in the bus and she comes, or the train, or however, get to ride Uber, whatever she does to come to her appointment, she pays the price, you know what I'm saying, that I have set for whatever service it is, and she leaves a tip. Now, is she a big tipper? Nah, not somebody that I would consider a big tipper, but I feel like this lady came all the way over here from wherever she lives on the other side of town, on a bus, on an Uber. If she, all of that has to be factored in. So I'm not somewhere trying to be, pressed about how much she tipped. Tip is a bonus. And like I said, people are out here struggling, and if they left any of them shops, that they've been going to, it was cheap over there. So, you shouldn't have the same expectations. The owners aren't giving tips to the workers. They are making up something to say negative about the customers. I don't buy it. Um, yeah, the tips go to the workers. Um, I got to move around a little bit. The tips go to the workers. My tips, like, I could get them cash. A lot of times now, um, people will tip me through Venmo or Cash App or whatever, Zelle. They'll Zelle it straight to me. Um, I have a little situation in the kitchen I had to take care of. Um, Maybe she needs to check her services. I feel like the only way, like nowadays, people don't even tip. They don't tip directly, like I said, like I used to. And if you work in a commission, I work in a commission salon. So whatever my tip is, I don't get it that day. It's just on my paycheck. So she can track the percentage and see how much, is the difference. But she said the workers aren't complaining. That's because the majority of their money is not coming from tips. And if you have a clientele, like I feel like nail people, they go to the same nail girl. It's not like they're just switching around. They go to the same nail girl. So if you have your clientele that's already built in, they're not going to lower their tips now. They're going to keep doing what they've been doing. Maybe she needs to check her services. How much is she charging more than? I would not lower my prices. You said maybe she needs to check her services. How much is she charging more than the Asian salons? Yeah, I wouldn't lower my prices because that would definitely affect her clientele. And you want to stay competitive depending on, your level. If you're high end, and then you're high end. And, people that make money, these people, these young girls out here, they got a little extra to get their nails done. But that's where the fault, that's where the balance comes in. I feel like high vibe. They can't afford to leave a bigger tip, and they probably weren't. Like, if you're a server in a restaurant, this is the thing. Um, we have a reputation for not tipping. And I think it's only though people who have not ever worked in the service industry. So people who haven't worked in the service industry, they don't really understand it like that. If you are a server somewhere, you become a good tipper. How about not complaining publicly and being grateful the business has increased? That's what I think. That's what I think. I think as a salon owner, she worried about something that's not even affecting her. Um, you say you always tip, helps folks remember you get well, Datani, exactly. I have clients who are very good tippers. And if they need more from me, then they can get it because I'm gonna go above and beyond. You know what I mean? It makes me I get at Christmas time, so salon stylists, we make money on just Christmas gifts because our clients are very good tippers. Will leave you, I ain't gonna say how much, it just depends on the client. You know what I'm saying? They really appreciate you throughout the holidays. So, there's still no negative though to having, double your business because now they're making more money. You said her post aligns with some of the experiences Black people have, Black business owners, lack of appreciation. I remember a time, and again, I was a server, but I was surviving off my tips. And I had this young couple, and they was a little bit hood, I ain't gonna lie, gold teeth and all the things. And they were on a date, and the guy waited until his girlfriend went to the bathroom and he felt comfortable. And I said the other day, when I was working, it's just Red Lobster, but they didn't have no Black servers. It was just something very, and this, like I said, was just in 2000, 2002, yeah, maybe 2000, 2002. Anyway, in the nines of the 2000s. Um, anyway, he asked me, he was like, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Yeah." He was like, "How much do people like normally tip?" Because I don't know. And I feel like if I had been a white server, he would have never felt comfortable to ask that question. And I told him, and at least now moving forward, he had the information. You know what I'm saying? So as a Black business owner, we have to teach our customers the same way they have to hold us accountable. It goes both ways. I wouldn't be asking nobody who for no tip, even if they don't tip at all. You'll gain a reputation for she don't tip, but I just wouldn't expect it. I'm still gonna do the service. I'm still gonna get my money. Some people who provide service like Instacart, Uber Eats have told me that many lower income people are better tippers than some of the wealthiest ones. I think the Instacart people though, like I'm not getting ready to tip you more, you know what I'm saying, on my groceries like that. I do leave a tip if I have somebody deliver not just food. Obviously, you're gonna leave a tip, but I don't feel like people driving to my house and dropping at my door is the same thing as somebody taking care of me throughout my meal. So yes, you deserve a tip. But hell, Uber Eats and all of that shit, I don't use it because they already charging me too much to bring the food over there. I have used the Walmart delivery, but I don't really do that either. I can just, pull up and they can put it in the car. So, yeah, I think as a business owner, you should be grateful for the wave. And now that you have these new people over here, make them a part of your culture. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been in a different type of situation. So their behaviors is going to be different. Make them be a part of your culture and don't worry about tips. As long as the books is full, girl, the tips don't come. Moving on. We hear these stories so much.
Hey, who little boys did?
The po babies be out here just on their own. A Greenville mother has been cited after police said her 5-year-old child was found wandering near a road late Monday night without shoes or pants. The incident began when Antoine Daniels recorded himself approaching the child while on his way to the gas station. He says he immediately called 911. Thank goodness. Daniels then took the boy to his car, putting him on his back to keep his feet off the ground and gave him a blanket and the shoes off his feet. Now, I don't know what his shoes was about to do for this little boy. That was the little baby. Maybe just, I don't know. Police later arrived and placed the child in the front seat of the patrol car before returning him to the apartment where he lives. He knew where he lived. They said 5 years old. It must have been close. They determined the child's mother, 36-year-old Camille Banks, had left the apartment. No, she didn't. And the child went looking for her. Oh, my goodness. Banks was ultimately cited for misdemeanor child abuse. On the ordeal, Daniels told news outlet WITN, "I just thank God I was there for him." So we're going to hear what he had to say.
Seeing this little man running on the highway. Hey, where your parents at?
Antoine Daniels found a little boy wandering near a Greenville street, barefoot with no pants.
That was something like a movie. I never seen nothing like that in reality.
Daniels says the surprise encounter happened Monday around 10 p.m. here on East Fire Tower Road.
I was coming past the Covenant Church, and I seen a little kid.
Seeing the 5-year-old alone, Daniels immediately jumps into action.
So the first thing was to call 911.
The boy can be heard asking for his mom. Daniels takes the child to the car and goes the extra mile.
Come on, get on my back.
Putting the boy on his back to get the child's bare feet off the ground and giving him a blanket and the shoes off his own feet.
Man, put my shoes on, bro.
A Greenville police officer soon arrives and puts the boy in the front seat of his patrol car. Police say he was safely returned to the apartment where he lives by officers. Police determined that his mother, Camille Banks, left the apartment and the boy went looking for her. The 36-year-old woman has been cited for misdemeanor child abuse. Daniels saying he's glad he was in the right place at the right time to help.
And I just thank God that I was there for him. Hey, who little boy is this? Seeing this little man running on the highway.
This dude is a meme waiting to happen. This dude is a meme just waiting to happen. Sometimes these babies are trying to run away. I mean, they said the mother left the kid. And when you say I'm gonna run right here, right quick, I watch my grandson. He's not 5, he's not even 2 yet. I watch him walk around my room, and my room is baby proof. You know what I'm saying? So but if I lay something like on my desk, I'm watching him look at the object, whatever it is. He's eyeballing it even though he doesn't touch it. Little kids are waiting for their opportunity. So even if you think it's just going to be a minute, the minute is too long for a 5-year-old. He's obviously big enough to open the door, even if it's locked. He's 5. You know what I'm saying? My baby come busting in my room like the police, and he's not even 2 yet. This first comment, it says, "Please don't be so quick to judge. Children with autism tend to find ways out of the home, and the parents have to find them. If you don't live it, hush." I didn't see anything in this article that said this baby had autism. Thing one. Thing two, if that's the case, that's more reason for you not to leave your kid alone, because they said the mama went out and left the baby there. So a hit dog will holler. It's just not okay. Where if you had to run down to wherever you had to run to, you gonna have to take the baby with you, or make sure somebody's there. You know what I mean, to look out for the kid. And then they don't even be looking for the baby. You know what I mean? It's one thing if you're out and you've called the police and you're like, my 5-year-old got out the house when I turned my back. I need 911. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no call from the parent. She was gone for a while. This boy is all the way down the street, and the man that took him to the car waited on the police to get there. What are you going to do if you don't see your kid? And so, yeah. And if you have a child that is, in the night that, escapes, however, then you have to come up with some idea on how to, you at least have to have one of those locks up high where he can't reach it. He's 5. Good morning, T. So, yeah, I'm like, this dude is going to be meme all over the place. This lady, thank God this man found that baby. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, a minute is too long. Kids are fast. They be into it before because they already done plotted and planned about it. We got to update this officer that was over here, nigga down to the internet. A badge doesn't erase racism. It exposes accountability matters. Former Houston police officer Ashley Gonzalez is now on the Brady list, and prosecutors are reviewing cases she worked after racist video surfaced in which she targeted Black people. Every person deserves equal justice, and Black communities deserve policing that is fair, honest, and free from bias. Accountability is only the beginning. Justice means making sure every case touched by racism gets a hard look. Well, I mean, at least she was out here, running her mouth, so we heard what she said.
Today's other top stories: a development in the case against a former HPD officer who was fired after going on a racist rant.
The district attorney's office confirming to KHOU 11 it has filed 75 Brady notices in cases involving that officer. A Brady notice lets defense attorneys know an officer's credibility or conduct is being called into question. Back in April, Gonzalez posted a video filled with racial slurs and suggested she would not treat Black people fairly during future arrests. She was fired, and the DA's office began reviewing her cases to determine whether racial bias may have played a role. And that review is still underway. Prosecutors say more Brady notices could be filed.
New with some of today's other top.
Good. And there should be some part of their training where these questions get asked, before they get to run around by themselves. Do you ever watch that show, The Rookie, where they got to ride around with, one of the senior cops? I'm guessing that's a real part of police training. There should be a trap set somewhere for them rookies to see how they respond in certain situations and how they, their thought process on, the races. So yeah, that should be a thing, part of their training. Because she over here and her people, I don't know who her people. She offended somebody in her friend group because I'm sure she didn't put this video out on the internet. I think she was fired. I don't think she's working anywhere now. But they do like to move them to another town. You say, where is she working now? We need to keep tabs on her because she should not work in the public sector. No, she already came to the internet and say she's sorry. She's sorry, y'all. She didn't mean it. She was just drunk and, and uncalled for, but they fired her anyway. That was Houston. Yeah, she said it already, Jatoni. We don't... She said it out loud, but the good thing is that they're going back and investigating. It's 75 of them. They're going back and investigating 75 of the cases that she, they've been flagged cases that she worked on. So, hopefully, at the very least, some people's records can be cleared just because she was over here being racially biased, and she might want to look for the lawsuits, child. This nigga Tigger. He back again today. Every day I got a different update about Tigger. I never saw this going this way. I did not anticipate this particular story. I thought we was done with this lady, last month, but she's still here. Big Tigger ordered to surrender Ring camera access after wife granted protective order following alleged assault. Big Tigger's legal troubles have taken another serious turn after a judge reportedly ordered the longtime radio and television personality to stay away from his wife and children. According to TMZ, Tigger's wife, Alicia Brown, was granted a temporary protective order Wednesday after filing a petition in Fulton County. Brown claims the former Rap City host, whose legal name is Darian Morgan, slammed her head into the door during a May altercation that allegedly left her needing stitches. Which Wednesday? This Wednesday or last week? Because I thought all this stuff happened on Father's Day. So today is Thursday. So this Wednesday, she filed a petition and she got a protective order. Brown also alleges Tigger pressured her to deny what happened and warned that he would make sure she loses everything if she spoke out. She further claims he later cut off access to the home's cameras and gate control. They're gonna be able to pull it up. The Ring camera people told y'all at the beginning of the year that they was gonna be able to have access to all your surveillance, home surveillance stuff. So you ain't gonna be able to delete it if there's anything there. It says a hearing is scheduled for July 13th. Tigger, who was arrested June 20th on aggravated assault and child cruelty charges, denied the allegations, saying, "For the past 30 plus years, I've built a life around relationships and community. Those who know me know the man, father, husband, and friend I've been throughout my life." No, we don't. Do y'all know that? I didn't know any of that. Oh, well, I don't know him. You said, I bet she dates black men too. Who are you talking about? The police? Oh, I was like, she is black. She probably do, but sometimes the Latinas be worse than the white folks. Wednesday 2032. Did I say that? 23. You know what I meant. If I said that, or did they write it that way? Is that what it says? It doesn't say that because I was asking which Wednesday. Anyway, yeah, we gonna see, child, what's going on with this situation. This lady keeps going back and forth and back and forth. But Tigger, what's on that camera? That's the next story I want to hear. The next story I want to hear is what's on that camera. Why do y'all be having surveillance inside your house? That would creep me out, honestly, because I would just feel like, somebody on the other side of that camera is always watching, not just me. You know what I'm saying? I get having surveillance outside, but why y'all be having surveillance inside? I don't want to be on surveillance, you know what I'm saying, inside the house. Have people watch me, go to the bathroom. What if I want to run to the kitchen right quick and I don't want to put any clothes on? Now I got to be concerned about. Anyway, what did I do here? We're not done sharing. Oh, I clicked off the whole, doggone it. Tigger needs to be on call. What does that mean, Ja Tony? I'm curious. What does that mean? Yeah, I clicked off the whole Instagram. I got to go back. Boo. And then I'll share it again. Now, what'd you say now? Tigger needs to be on code. What is the code? Oh, never hit the sisters or anyone. I mean, we don't technically know if that's what he did or not. Allegedly, we got to say allegedly. But, allegedly, the police said they want to see them cameras. Her hair. I mean, this lady is a little, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with somebody that's a little ticky boom, like she has proven to be just based on the way she handles herself on the internet, we don't know if she busts her own head and, just to blame him for it. That wilder things have happened. I'm not blaming the victim because I think Tigger is moving suspect as well. I think something is up with the way Tigger is moving. And the kid, I think they said the kids heard it and seen it. That's why where the child cruelty comes in. The kids were witness to it, so they're gonna have to discuss what they heard. The footage should be released first because Miss Lady Rep isn't. Yeah, no, she's not a credible person. These are all things that that it was enough during investigation for them to take him. You know what I'm saying, to the pokey. T said Tigger did that shit. I mean, I'm leaning towards, I feel like something is up with Tigger. Plain and simple. And we can sit up here and he in the community, the people, them be the main ones. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever sat and watched To Catch a Predator? How many of the men in the community was a good guy until he was down to, somebody's child's bar in the kitchen and getting carried out by the police? So I'm not saying that's what Tigger was over there doing. I'm just saying something ain't right. And I think there's a reason why men choose crazy women. Maybe for that reason, because you know what I'm saying? If you get off into your wild stuff that you be over there doing, Tigger, then the people are just going to be like, she's crazy. You can't believe nothing she says. I think both things are true. I think she's crazy and something weird is going on over there. And where is that little girl? We still want to know that. Speaking of crazy, I don't want to call the boy crazy. Just, a little touched, a little off. American actor Brashear Gray, known as Hakeem Lyons on Empire, opening up during an interview with Olga Obina, saying he is Kenyan forever. Y'all done ran the boy all the way off forever. He's revealed that he has 5 children. This is wild, y'all. This is wild. So he reveals that he has 5 children, all aged 3 months, and 3 in the US and 1 in Ethiopia and 1 in Kenya. Y'all talk about Nick Cannon. This man got 3 kids in the United States and 2 kids in 2 countries in Africa. It says 1 in Kenya with a lady from Kiambu. Bashir said the Kenyan mother has been pressuring him to relocate to Kilimani, but he prefers moving her to Nanyuki, described as quiet and peaceful. So, Bashir was over here assaulting women. He had, been back and forth in jail for fighting with, I don't know, it clearly just girlfriend, because baby mamas didn't happen until last year, I'm guessing. I'll let him tell y'all what he has said.
Forever. Like Cardi B say, forever.
You are on forever.
Well, I'll get my album done. I'm gonna just drop every month. I got bangers every month.
You want to stay forever? Do you know that Shy Fanny?
What, the immigration laws?
No. That's a very different thing. You're around for how long?
Forever. Like Cardi B say, forever.
You're around forever. You never know. Do you plan to have kids?
Yeah, I got 5.
You already have 5 kids.
Yeah. Got 5 kids.
Welcome home, brother. Welcome home, brother.
I got 5.
You have 5 kids.
I have 5 kids.
How many baby mamas?
5.
God dang it. And I thought I was shining. How old are they?
They all.
See how they be thinking? That's why I'm like, I don't know about Africa.
Yeah. This is why this is something that's legendary. They all 3 months old. That's the.
All the kids are 3 months old.
Mm-hmm. 3 months old. They all going on 4 now. Next month it'll be 4 months.
Wow. Okay. Whew. You never know. Do you plan to have kids?
Yeah, I got 5.
You already have 5 kids.
Yeah. 1 is Kenyan.
1 is Kenyan.
Mm-hmm. 1 is Kenyan.
The mother is Kenyan.
Mhm.
From where?
Cambu.
I know your man. The daughters of Agekoyo and Mobe. You don't pray, do you? Hey, nigga, man, okay, now you see that area, Kiambu?
Mm.
They are wife materials.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should
Right.
wife her, bro.
I know.
Think about it.
Thinking. But she wants to move to Kilimani. I don't want her near the clubs. She has
Where-
to stay
Where does
in
she
Nayuki
stay?
or something.
Huh?
She got to go to like a quiet space. One is Kenyan.
One is Kenyan.
Hmm.
Where is he getting his money from? He talking about dropping albums. Do we know him as an artist? Because he was over here in and out of jail. You said these girls crazy. 5 of them. Yes, these girls are crazy for having kids with him because he has a history of being abusive. But 5 kids, like all of them 3 months old. 3 in the US. So there's 3 girls here. Bang, bang, bang. And where is he getting his money from? Just talking about, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he been down bad. I think Bashir knows a lot of them secrets they were saying over there. There's some names attached to Bashir. Will Smith, Puffy. I don't know who else. Oh, what's his name that was the producer of that show? He had been dealing with severe mental health issues. Has he received adequate treatment? Hopefully the story isn't true. I don't know. This dude over here, this African host of this TV show is a clown. I don't know what he was over there saying, but whatever he was doing was bigging him up for that behavior. You know, apparently it's cool to have all these babies on deck, 3 months old, 5 different women. So yeah, he has been dealing with mental health issues. That's why I'm like, what is going on? And he's in Africa. How long has he been over there? I mean, I guess at least 9 months, child. OnlyFans, that's how he's making money. That's scary. I don't know. Them OnlyFans, they said the people ain't making money on OnlyFans like they used to. I don't know. But this is wild. Yeah. And I look at Bashir. We all know Bashir has some mental health issues. So the question is, who are these girls? Why are you inspired to do this? Because I just don't feel like he got a lot of money like that. He should be well on the road. Unless he's a big hit over in Africa. I don't know. This story irritated me. I mean, because this just sounds just like how, anyway, we'll get into it. Takeoff's mom says father was barely present in rapper's life amid fight over wrongful death settlement. This doesn't surprise me at all. A new legal dispute has emerged within Takeoff's family as the late rapper's parents reportedly battle over how money from wrongful death settlement should be divided. According to TMZ, Takeoff's mother, Tatiana Davenport, and father, Kenneth Ball, are at odds over the distribution of funds connected to litigation stemming from rapper's 2022 death. Reportedly, Davenport argues she was the parent primarily responsible for raising Takeoff, whose real name was Kersnick Ball. Kersnick? In the filing, she reportedly described having a close and nurturing relationship with her son throughout his life and claimed she provided most of the financial support until adulthood. She also allegedly contends that Kenneth Ball played a limited role in Takeoff's upbringing. I believe it. The disagreement centers on proceeds from the wrongful death lawsuit originally filed by Davenport against the Houston bowling alley where Takeoff was fatally popped out in November 2022. The lawsuit alleged the venue failed to provide adequate security measures on the night of the shooting. Kenneth Ball has previously asserted his legal right to participate in the litigation, tied tied to his son's death, joining the wrongful death case in 2023. Takeoff, a member of the Grammy-nominated rap trio Migos alongside Quavo and Offset, was unalived at age 28 outside a Houston bowling alley. His death sent shockwaves through the music industry and sparked multiple legal proceedings in the years followed. I feel like there's an easy solution to this. All we got to do is, give him a percentage of the proceeds and then snatch him back on back child support. So how much money did he spend taking care of the kid? Well, then go ahead and then give that portion of whatever it was, to the mother. This is so annoying. Let's see what y'all are saying. There was a lot of bad news that was revealed about him during his extensive investigations. Yeah, with Diddy. You're talking about Bashir. Bashir has been, Lee Daniels was the other one. It was a lot of mess going on with that boy. You said, Dewsby promised his sister's loyalty, then they do this. He wasn't promised to nobody loyalty, not how he banged them out in 3 months. We leaving this whoring conduct. Now everybody got to suffer. The kids will, because it don't sound like their mama got no good sense. That's for darn sure. She said the deadbeat doesn't deserve a check. Disgusting. That's I feel like he's entered himself into the litigation now. I'm sure she would be like, get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Takeoff's mother. But at this point, I guess, I don't know. When he's added to the litigation, now they got to argue over who's supposed to get what. So, I feel like a judge should look at it that way. It's easy enough. Where's the files of how much of the child support did you offer throughout the son's life? Okay. You get 10% of the money. And now you take that 10% and give it back to his mama. Sound crazy. And we know she did it. We believe you. We know he wasn't nowhere around, child. We probably have heard Offset talk about it. Not Offset, Takeoff. There's probably some interview somewhere on somebody's rapper, podcast where he was talking about how he was raised. And they was probably like, yeah, my dad was never around. We could probably find evidence, on YouTube of him discussing his family life. Child, this lady, this is just funny to me. So Mia Thornton was over here posting pictures of herself online, and she photoshopped or AI'd herself on this lady's body. Sophie O'Neill. She's, I guess, associated with Hunting Wives. It says, Mia, is Mia vindicated, or is this another AI pic? So this is where it started. Mia, posted this picture. The picture of Mia is recent. The picture of Sophie is from a year ago. And the lady called her out. Sophie did. And she posted this, and it says, superimposing yourself onto my picture. The world is a very scary place these days. This is just sad. That's what the girl Sophie posted, and we looking at it. And Sophie O'Neill is her name. It says, please, can you remove this picture of me with your head on it? Thanks. How embarrassing. This is so Mia. So Mia said, not true. Mia said it's not true. Now, we'll go back and forth for a second. So Mia said, this is her response. Never needed clout. My name carries enough weight on its own. She said the blueprint doesn't need permission to recognize itself. Let me guess. What's her name? Has a photo sitting down inside the restaurant too. So this is where Mia messed up, because I use AI images for my designs. And and I'm sure everybody know how AI works. They offer you multiple poses. You know what I'm saying? Is that her real face too? It's smoothed out. it's taken all the, all the craters been taken out of it, because we know Mia's skin is not, that's not nice. But the people said she got crater face and big feet. AI gives you options. There's no way in the world that Mia took a picture in the same room. The light is in the same spot. We pose in the same way. The body is a little different, but I feel like AI does that. They make, a little bit of adjustments, but y'all are posing the same way, in the same dress, at the same restaurant, in the same spot. Mia be lying, and she don't care, whether there's evidence or not. Crazy. Now she calling this lady what's her name, and then a lot of people were saying that let's look in the comments. This first comment said, "I don't know what's worse, using AI to steal someone's picture, or using AI again to pretend like you didn't." That second photo, even more AI than the first one. Yes, so she came out with the second picture to prove that she did not do this, that she did not put her head on this lady's body. If it was actually her, then why did Mia delete the original photo? Yeah, it's not on her thing no more. It's not on her what do you call it, Instagram anymore. But she's still trying to act like this lady is, she's got something in her story, trying to act like this lady is, clout chasing. I don't think she needs to clout chase. I feel like, the people know who she is. Let's see. And so the people that follow her, she's an influencer, so I'm sure they know who she is. Maybe Mia didn't know who she was. That's why she did that. Maybe she thought she was going to get away with it. Just lying for no reason. Why are you running over to the internet with a bald-faced lie? And we already know you a liar. Last time we seen you, you was going to jail. So some people said this lady body was fake, but this is her cakes, y'all.
This number on is Dolce & Gabbana, baby. Okay, let's take the hair out. I'm going to my friend's birthday, and why not? Crack out the cheetah print. I've worn this dress so many times, but I just love it. I just love how it fits. It's so comfortable. We're going to.
Okay, girl. I just wanted to see, click on some of her pictures, because yes, this lady is definitely stacked. She in real life stacked. So this is her in this dress. A lot of them have music playing in the background, but she running in the dress. And I was like, them look like her real cakes too. Because, sometimes to be fake booty, like Mia's parts are pretend. They manufacture. Here go this girl. I don't know, is that a fake booty or a real booty? If it's fake, they did a great job. It just don't look, it's got regular jiggle on it. Like not like the kind of jiggle where them two basketballs be bouncing up on each other. That wasn't the one I wanted. Because there's a couple of pictures of her in this dress. That's a different purse, so that's not the first time she wore that dress, but that dress was posted a year ago. There she go. She just one of them thick ass, white girls. It looked like her waist is snatched, but I think her bottom half is authentic. Oh, that looks fake. We need to see them from all angles. See which one from all angles. Mia's is definitely fake. What'd you think about this angle? How about the lady running down the street with her Caucasian cakes bouncing in that same dress? And like I said, she looked like, to me, she just one of them big, thick white girls. It don't even really look fake. Look at her. She thick all the way down to her ankles. So now I'm convinced. It ain't no little teensy legs. I bet you she got some thick old thighs like Ashley. What's her name? Ashley Graham. Here she is in the bathroom. Yeah, I think she's just a juicy girl. And so Mia, he's stealing this lady's photos. I tell you what, you did her a favor because the internet is talking everywhere, all over the timeline. You gonna know who is Sophie O'Neill because she's being talked about this week, or at least today. If you snatch the waist, it helps to make the booty look larger. That's what it looked like to me, High Vibe. It looked like she got her waist snatched, but she thick, her calves, she got them. You know when you see them white ladies with them big calves, you know what's gonna happen in the future. So she, as long as she stay in front of the camera, she gonna have to stay snatched. And yeah, Mia is fake. She always been fake. Look like she's still being fake. Let's see. Speaking of fake, this is where I'm going today. We need to keep in mind, first of all, if you see Pharrell works for the people, you should assume that it's fake because Pharrell is fake, stealing ideas from people. Louis Vuitton, this is this is second time this week we had to call you to the car.
Like me and you thought these bags were some of the best things that come out of that Louis Vuitton show, they're actually ripped off completely from this designer. This designer, Mila Textures, I hope I said that right, is prominent on social media for their beading. And it's not just Louis Vuitton happen to bead in the exact same way. One of the designers from the team actually follows this creative. And I took the time as well to see maybe this was a prominent style maybe 5, 10, 20 years ago, and you really cannot find anything like this unless you look at this designer's work. Everybody wants to talk about the Vans, but this is the real thievery that's going on from Louis Vuitton's design team. Now, you don't gotta wait until next year to get the Louis Vuitton copied version. You can just go and support this Black designer right now. I'm Adam Cross. I talk about fashion and art on my page, and if you want to continue discovering real creatives like this is the page for it. If you're like me and you thought these bags were some of the best things that come out of...
So, Black designer. I'm trying to see if he tagged her. Him, I don't know. That's okay, because I'm going to find it. I'm going to find this designer, and, I'll bring it back up on the next Coffee Talk. But this is definitely another example of spending money with these high... Yeah, Pharrell is the head designer at Louis Vuitton, but still an idea. So, like for us, when you're looking for these, looking for places to spend your money, I see a lot of crafters that have very beautiful crafted artwork. To be honest, and it's unfortunate when a brand like Louis Vuitton steals their idea and, it's on such a grand scale. You'll never find this person. He said the name, so I wish he had tagged them, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put it in the description. But I'm feeling like we are over here, including myself, we over here doing a lot of talk about where to spend our Black dollars. And so put your money where your mouth is. If you're into that beautiful beading, then I think it doesn't take any more time to go find. You'll be able to find other things intricate to whatever it is you like. I feel like I wouldn't wear the mask, but the bags are beautiful. You said, why didn't Pharrell bring the designer to the table? Because Pharrell, so it was somebody on the team that's what this guy said. Somebody on Pharrell's design team brought follows this person, and then they came up with the idea. I won't say Pharrell didn't know anything about it, but Pharrell is known for stealing. He's known for stealing and remixing it. There was we talked about it yesterday. There's a whole thing with him stealing the idea from Vans. The thing with that is Vans, it's a tennis shoe company. It's a basic shoe. So yeah, fashion is not anything new in fashion. We're just remixing it. But this right here is a particular style. Yes, he's a thief. This right here is a particular style, and there's a Black designer. So he's not just stealing. That's why he don't care nothing about DEI. He's not just stealing from an artist. He's stealing from a Black artist, and he's been stealing this whole time. You know what I'm saying? So I think when Pharrell, the Neptunes broke up and him and Chad were no longer a duo, we see where probably the creativity really came from, because it seems like Pharrell can't come up with a thought of his own. not a creative one anyway. So that's all I got, y'all. I'm going to make sure that, I pull up this designer, and I probably want to take some time Monday and just spotlight many, Black designers. Like I said, we can go over to buyblack.org. You would wear the mask not in public. Ooh, that sounds like your business, girl. Honestly, like if you're up north somewhere in the wintertime, it would work. When I look at the mask, it wasn't that I like that kind of stuff. So even if it's not for you, you might be able to find something unique. And I can guarantee you, you heard her, girl. She says she not gonna wear it in public. I don't want to get involved anymore in that, because girl. Anyway, tomorrow not tomorrow. Y'all have a good weekend. Monday, I will be back with, a spotlight on some of the Black designers. And, we can look at some of their websites and see some of the things they have to offer. In the meantime, y'all, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't get any trouble, especially you, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Have a good weekend, y'all. Bye.